Oh boy, see my face? Why is it like this every time? This is going to be my fifth or sixth time recording this. I had it all done perfectly timed, about 10 minutes long. All my thoughts on D2. Go to put in the editing software and the audio is desynced. It's not synced up for some reason, so hopefully this one works. Maybe I'm just talking too fast and my mouth can't keep up. Anyways, let's get right into it because I'm tired of it. I had a good little bit where I made an accent and I said, hey, you guys looking at me? Anyways, Destiny 2 been out a little over a month, I think. And let's get right into it. Story. I think story is a solid 7.5 to 8. First playthrough, I think, is a solid 9. But the fact that there's no replayability, really, for me anyways, I think knocks it down. First time playing through, loved all the cutscenes. I thought it was awesome. I thought it was great, actually. It took me about 11 hours straight through. Second time, though, was painful to play. Nothing felt new and exciting anymore. It was just kind of like, I don't know, a chore to have to do it for leveling up and to be able to access everything else. Took me about 6 hours straight through, skipping all the cutscenes. I think I could probably do it faster than that, but yeah, it is what it is. I think the writing was a little bit weak. The dialogue was very weak, except for a few characters. Failsafe, I think, is probably my favorite non-protagonist character in any game, period. Meaning they're not the main person. That's what protagonist means, just in case you didn't know. I probably didn't know. I don't know. But that's not counting a Mario or a Kratos or a Master Chief, etc. You know, it's just as kind of a sidekick, kind of somebody that's there, but they're not the main character. Kind of like Spark 117. Was it Spark? No. What was it? Guilty Spark. Guilty Spark in Halo, I think, was really good as well. And that's the vibe I got from Failsafe. So I think she made the story better. I think the dialogue there was spot on and the voice acting was amazing. So kudos to you guys. But overall, story was solid first playthrough. Not so much replayability, which I think knocks it down for me to 7.5 to about an 8. Other PvE stuff, strikes are kind of boring. First time you play each strike is pretty cool because it's new stuff. You're kind of paying attention, trying to see what the hell you're actually doing, what's going on. But the more you play them, there's really no point to it after a certain power level, unless you're missing one of those guns, one of the Vanguard guns. After that, the rewards aren't really there. You get some blue gear, maybe chance at legendary or exotic, and tokens. And the tokens really, I think it's over 20, thinking like 25 to rank up. And for me, it's just not there. I don't get excited to play those. Maybe if they added heroic mods, like in Year 3 D1, where it was cool. You could try different loadouts and just kind of go in there, fuck around, throw nades, do whatever, you know. So maybe they'll add that in the future, but right now, very lackluster, very boring. Two big additions that I think were just good job. Public events, probably the easiest way to rank up, level up, and get rewards, honestly. The most rewarding for the short amount of time you're playing them, especially if you do the heroics, you get a lot of bang for your buck, if you will. The other thing is adventures. I think those were really cool. A lot of the mini stories within them are pretty awesome, and I think it was a great addition. They're like bigger patrols, or maybe what patrols should have been. Even though patrols are still in the game, they don't feel any different. Patrols just feel like eh. And unless I have to for some weird reason, I don't really do them. So that's that. And finally, the raid. I think the raid is probably top 2 for me after King's Fall. And it might be a little bit biased because King's Fall was the raid I played the most and where I met a lot of my good friends, all the hosts from the Dad Tales podcast. That's where we met, just raiding that week in and week out. And for me personally, I like raids that give everybody that sort of fulfillment, or that feeling of fulfillment, that everybody had their role, everybody played their part, and everybody contributed to the win. King's Fall, you could do some encounters, 4 or 5 person encounters, and pull the rest of the team through. But overall, everybody had their thing they had to do. And that's how I feel about this raid. While you can, I mean, people have two-manned everything. I think for the most part, for the casual player, everybody can have a role, everybody can feel they contributed, and yeah, it feels rewarding. It can be challenging, but if you put the time, learn the mechanics, it gets simpler and simpler every time you do it. And it's just a fun raid. I think the aesthetic is great. The narration, the feeling that you're, in this game show is really cool. And the little twist, if you will, at the end is awesome too. I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm not going to go too into depth, but it's definitely one of my favorites, and I still enjoy doing it. I think rating in general, the fact that you have 6 people in there is one of the best parts because with this game, I know Deej said it and people kind of took it out of context. But this game, making the friendships, playing with your friends, full fire teams, full raid teams, playing together and enjoying, just shooting the shit, catching up or whatever. That's really what this game is all about, and probably the best thing that it has to offer. So that's PvE in a nutshell for me. Let's go to PvP. PvP, I think, is a vast improvement over D1. Yes, everything's more team-based now. It's about team shooting, communication, calling out flanks if you're going to flank, just constantly talking to your fire team, which one can make it hard to casually play if you're like trying to do well, because you can't really be talking about other stuff here while all this is happening and somebody's trying to pay attention and tell you where to go or where people are coming from. So, solo queuing can be a pain, a real pain in the butt, and I think this is why you see a lot more full teams. It's that solo queuing without having being able to talk to your teammates it's a detriment to the team and it's a struggle. I do it myself sometimes, and it's most of the time it's not really fun. So I don't really go into PvP unless I have at least another person to play with, preferably 2 or 3, just to have a full team. But PvP feels solid. I don't think any one class is OP. I think I've maybe bitched about it because I don't know, in a bad mood or whatever. But yeah, no subclass feels super OP or OP. I will say Night Stalker, I think Tether. The only change I would like to see there is instant suppression on a direct hit with the top perk tree. I think bottom perk tree is fine. I don't use it, but the fact that you have Quiver and you get 5 or 6 shots off, I think that's cool and doesn't really need changing. But yeah, instant suppression I think should be definitely a thing. Now, one hit kill I could do with or without, not a huge deal for me. But yeah, I mean that's really the only change. Guns, I think all guns are viable if you play them right. Hand cannons are very hard to use. They're a lot harder to use because I think the aim assist is like a lot lower than D1 was. So you have to get used to it, and they're really more cleanup weapons. You can 4-tap people. I'm not sure if you can 3-tap, but you can definitely 4-tap. But yeah, they're hard to use. But I like that all guns are viable. You can pretty much go in with whatever loadout as long as you play within that range or that angle or whatever. Yeah, you can use whatever you want. 2 things I would like to see overall, not just in PvP, but guns having non-static rolls. I think bring back the random rolls, because that was one of the big exciting things about D1 was getting the same gun but going, hey, is this gonna have the range perk I need, or it's got explosive rounds or outlaw that I want for PvE or whatever it may be. It gave the game more replayability, and I think that's one of the big things that's lacking right now is that everything is kind of set. I know they're going for the casual player, probably the person that plays 3 hours a week max or just 2 days a week max, and they can't put in all the time and effort to go max light level right away. Personally, I think I have a little over 100 hours in overall playing time, which I know is a lot higher than the average player. So I'm not trying to compare the two, but I think they for the casual player it's going to be fine. For those who played 2,000 to 3,000 plus hours in D1, it's kind of a change because everything's easy. Nothing really feels like you accomplished something, I guess. It doesn't feel rewarding enough. That includes Iron Banner. I played about 4 hours yesterday, got 110 tokens, a lot of duplicate drops from turning them in, and I don't know, not getting something at the end of a match just feels like not wasted time, because I still had fun with my friends, but it felt like it was missing something, And I think that's what it is, that even if you played, you're getting rewards. Which leads me to the other thing. I think armor should be able to roll with whatever stat split. I think currently every set, like every helmet only has two maybe three separate rolls it can go with. Same with everything else. And I don't know, the fact that it's stuck there and you can't wear whatever you want with whatever stat roll without having to, change your whole damn outfit out is kind of shitty. Like, I got the helmet for the hunter from Iron Banner, looks badass, awesome, put it right on my hunter, but now my stat split is all fucked up. PvE, it's not a big deal. PvP, I like to keep the way I'm playing, which meant I had to change my arms, which meant I had to try and find a new mod and just change all my shit around. So that's the other change I like to see. Non-static rolls on weapons and armor. And I think that's it. I think that's pretty much all I got to say. Overall, I think the game is a solid 8.5. But the end game, I think for the non-casual player, which again, that's who this game is geared towards, I think. I would probably consider me top 2% that have gone flawless, have done the raid, have gotten to 305, have a different character, have most of the exotics and stuff. That's not who this game is geared for, I don't think, in my opinion anyway. So I get that, I get the business side of it, but currently after you hit 50 plus hours, I think you start slowing down and you start not having the urge to keep playing, because there isn't that chance at a different perk on a gun or whatever it may be. It feels like you've done everything, you have all the guns, there's really nothing for you to do. So that's just my take on it. DLC coming up, I'm sure they'll listen to the community and make changes accordingly. And yeah, so we're at about 11 minutes, a little bit longer than last time, but whatever. It's a nutshell. Please God, please let the video be synced, or the audio. If my mouth is moving wrong, I might just post it like that, because I don't want to do this again. So thanks for watching, guys. If you guys want to discuss this, please leave a comment. Whether you agree or disagree, just keep it civil. We're all adults. Even if you're not an adult, act like an adult. There's no reason to insult or throw stupid words out there. Yeah, or if you want to go into my Discord and talk about it more there, I'd really appreciate the support in there. We've been growing a little bit here and there. I'd really like to see the Discord a lot more active. I'm trying to figure out incentives or something to give you guys to be more active and kind of meet each other more. I know there's an overlap between the DTP Discord and my Discord, so I get that. But I'm trying to get people in there, man. I hope you guys will join me in there, trying to grow that community. And yeah, hope you guys have a great day, and I'll catch you next time. See ya.